Every other week, someone comes out with a new AI tool, and everybody on the internet goes absolutely crazy with it, talking about how developers are going to lose their job, designers have nowhere left to go, and creatives, well, it doesn't even matter what they're doing anymore because AI is going to do all the artwork for them. And I'm not here to deny that AI is changing things, because it absolutely is. But there's a huge difference between being somebody who really believes that AI is going to take over everything and being one of those people who sees it as a tool to further your own career. So today I want to give you 7 concrete things that you can do to truly make yourself irreplaceable. And I'm not just talking about the generic learn more stuff, learn more technologies. I'm talking about real actionable steps that will help you stand out. To start off with, here's something that AI cannot do. AI can't take initiative, and it can't really ask around for what kind of projects are going on. It doesn't have that ability to truly network. Now, networking gets a bad rap because a lot of times, especially as fellow comp sci majors and software engineers, a lot of times we think that it requires going to these awkward coffee chats and talking to people and making up these little small talks that really don't hit home for a lot of people. But I think that networking means something bigger than this. It means that you're able to talk to different people on your team and get an understanding of what people really need. At the end of the day, AI still doesn't have the capability of talking to the people around it and understanding what the real world issues are. And that's where you're going to come in. Continue to talk to the people around you and really get a feel for what's going on, because those new projects that pop up, the only way that you would really get ahead on it is by talking to people. Okay, now this one is going to sound really counterintuitive, but stay with me. The worst thing you can do right now is only do things that you really know about and continue to get really deep about these certain things. Taking on the same roles that you know how to do will get you stuck in a pit that you didn't even realize you're stuck in. Here's the thing, AI is trained on previous knowledge and data that's already been created and things that have already been done. Because of this, all of those basics and, bug fixes and things like that are honestly right up AI's alley. Say yes to the tasks that you're not really sure about and those projects that you're really scared of, because that amount of trying and putting yourself forward, that's really what's going to stand out. In addition, that learning process, the struggle and getting to the solution, that's what's really going to make you get better and better. Your brain needs to keep growing, even if we do have AI to rely on now. Willingness to learn is one of the most valuable skills you can have because it really shows your initiative and your drive to do something. It shows that you want to grow and not just execute tasks that are given to you. Next up, you have to have your fundamentals down. And this doesn't necessarily just mean syntax or being the best at the lead code grind. It means that you really understand the why behind each and every decision that you make. A lot of companies now are expecting us to use AI tools as we're developing, so the syntax isn't really the biggest deal and it's not really the most important thing that you should be thinking about. But having those fundamentals of how a system works and how to create an end-to-end flow, those are the kinds of skills that will really put you forward because it shows that you understand what exactly you're doing. And in the case that AI can't come up with a solution, they know that they have somebody who is able to understand the fundamentals of system design. Think of fundamentals as the foundation to a house. If you don't have those fundamentals, if you don't have that foundation, then no matter how thick your walls are, no matter how good your pillars are, eventually it will be collapsing because you just don't have that base to grow on. If you're in tech, make sure you understand the why behind what kind of solutions you're implementing. And if you're in design, make sure that you really understand the principles, not just the tools. In any case, you want to make sure that you really have that solid foundation. That depth is something that a model can always approximate, but it will never truly have the way a human does. Number 4, you really want to be human-centered and very versatile. I think that in this age of AI, there's a lot of technical things that are just going to constantly be automated. So the best thing you can truly have is honestly being a human. Think deeply about the psychology of the people around you and people in general. For example, there's been this trend of having automated phone responses, and just think of, even in your own case, how frustrating it can get to constantly have to talk to this machine and it not really understand what you're saying. That machine is probably saving the company hundreds or thousands of dollars because they don't have to hire phone help, but think of the customers who are constantly getting mad and just frustrated at having to deal with this. Right now, this may be working out, but in the long run, eventually people will turn to other people. At the end of the day, an AI will not be able to comfort people the same way another human would. And by tapping into your human side and really working to become a person who's friendly and people-centered, I think that you can really go in a direction where you're truly helping other people, and I think that that really shows up in your work. Now, along with getting to know people, you should also get to know different subjects. You want to be a versatile person as well. So if somebody comes to you and they ask you about a product question, maybe you should kind of get to know that side as well. A lot of people are developers in the most basic context of being able to crank out whatever solutions that they need, but not a lot of people could answer why they want to do this or participate in product discussions with a client. Employers will definitely notice when you're the type of person who has a solid core in one area, but also spreads their wings a little and kind of gets to know other areas of the business. For example, I work at a bank, but I am a software engineer. So obviously at the core of my work, I want to do software, I want to code, I want to implement solutions. But I also take the time to understand what kind of application I'm building in terms of the business side of things. By showing that interest in different parts of the business, I've gotten so many more opportunities opened up to me. I've even gotten recommended to try going to another team and trying out what they're doing as well. And I think that by showing that you really are interested in learning different aspects, it shows that you have the open-mindedness to be versatile and kind of try new things out. The goal isn't to know everything in one domain and be super duper locked into this one thing or one person. The whole idea of it in terms of being people-centered and being versatile is that you want to be able to talk to lots of people and you want to be able to do lots of things. At this point, I'm gonna be so real with you guys. I think that we are in a market of being a jack of all trades, and that is very important right now. You need to start getting used to identifying what use cases are important. This kind of ties back to talking to people, but you need to start understanding as you're working and as you're going through different parts of your code, you also need to start understanding what exactly it is that people want. You need to start being able to understand what it is that is important, because at this era, people are throwing everything out there. They are creating every type of AI tool that you can imagine, but the people who are going to win are the ones who understand what the case is that's really important. I think it's time that we all really start understanding what exactly it is that's important in this world. The reason that this will set you apart from AI tools is the fact that AI can't exactly tell what kind of test cases are important to humans yet. And because of that, it's really important that you hone your skills, because who's going to be telling this AI what to do? Start training yourself to really identify problems instead of just trying to create solutions, because you do not want to be the person who is creating a solution for something that is not even a problem that's worth fixing right now. Next up, something that's really important is being able to communicate your code. Being able to communicate what your solution did, why it helped, and what exactly it resulted in is extremely important, because AI is often cranking out random solutions and cranking out all this code, but sometimes you don't even know what it's truly doing. And now that's where you come in. Human developers are able to explain processes in a lot more of a thorough way than a lot of AIs are. Again, coming back to the human part of yourself, you are also able to see the person in front of you and understand what they're feeling or what they're thinking, and kind of get a tone of like how you need to explain to them. So that's why I think it's really important that you learn how to explain. For example, if you're talking to somebody who's on the client side, you need to be able to explain it to them in a way that they understand and they don't feel talked down to. Versus if you're talking to another engineer, you want to be able to speak to them with confidence and the ability to understand what exactly you did. The engineers who will truly start to win out are the ones who know how to communicate, because we're kind of past the era of developers who sit in their room in the dark and code all day. Lastly, you're gonna have to be really thorough. AI moves fast, and if you can't keep up with that speed, you're gonna have to make up for it somewhere else. But in a way, that's a really good thing for you, because AI can easily tell the very common cases and implement the solutions that are getting the basic idea of whatever that issue is. It doesn't really know how to understand edge cases and truly get into the nitty-gritty of what you're doing. This is where you need to start questioning yourself heavily. And I don't mean doubting yourself. I mean that when you're coding, you need to make sure that you are going through every possible scenario and understanding what exactly the edge cases are. This also kind of ties back to understanding the business aspect of whatever it is you're building. The more thorough of an understanding you have in terms of the product as a whole, the better chance you have of really setting yourself apart, because AI is going to miss those edge cases, and that's where you need to shine. In addition, being thorough really shows that you respect your team and you respect the time that everyone's putting into this, and that to me is a sign that a developer would really stand out. So to recap, let's go over the 7 things we talked about today. 1. You're gonna network like a human. 2. Take on the things that scare you. Next, know your fundamentals and stay versatile. Learn to spot those problems. Communicate, and lastly, be very thorough. Now notice how none of these things are just work harder. That's because this is about curating what AI can't replicate. Your relationships, your voice, your human connection, your real care for the work that you're doing. The people who are going to thrive in this next era are not the ones pretending that AI is not changing things. It's the people who are taking it seriously, adapting, and investing in the things that make them more human, not less. If this was useful, drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below which ones you think that really will help in the future, and if you disagree with me on any of these. I hope you guys learned something today, and thank you for watching.